Hello everyone, it is Doc Hitchcock, and today we are going to be solving this brand new, fresh off the presses puzzle called Fafnir's Fortress. Alright, and so while I am going to show you the video of me solving this in a few seconds, I did want to start by introducing the puzzle and giving a brief non-spoiler review of what I thought of the solve. And so I'll read to you the introduction of what this puzzle is. This is Fafnir's Fortress by Luke Ware. It is an intricate handheld-sized sequential discovery puzzle. It's made from 3D printed PLA and includes a number of machine metal parts and hardware, as you can see here. This little dragon in the window. There's some bolts and stuff sticking up that are metal, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear that. There's stuff clinking around in there. So there's metal parts as well as PLA, and I'll tell you, it is a pretty hefty puzzle. When you hold it, you can feel some heft to it. The puzzle is themed of the Old Norse myth of the dragon Fafnir. In this fable, Fafnir was a dwarf that killed his father, stole his father's treasure, and then turned himself into a dragon to protect the stolen hoard. Later, a young hero, Sigurd, outwitted and slew Fafnir and took back the treasure. The story is likely to be served as the inspiration for J.R.R. Tolkien's book, The Hobbit, which is pretty cool. So the objectives of this puzzle are to find the sword of Sigurd, to slay or remove the dragon of Fafnir, and reclaim the stolen treasure. But beware of Fafnir's tricks. So everyone, this is a little puzzle. It's not that big. You can see compared to my hands, it's not that big, but it actually packs a lot of puzzle in it. I will say this was about $165 US plus shipping. Given the priciness of a lot of puzzles that are coming down the pipe, it was refreshing to get something under 200 bucks that had a lot of sequential discovery goodness to it. I will say that at a certain point, I did find one of those tricks that they allude to that he says to beware of Fafnir's tricks. I found one of those tricks. It took a good puzzle that I really enjoyed and made it a great puzzle that I really enjoyed. So I was lucky enough to get one of the first batches. So this is number 14 out of 100. And as everybody knows, puzzle collectors really love it when their puzzles are limited edition and numbered. And so I do kind of like that too. From first glance, you can see that it's a very well made puzzle. There are some pieces on here that when you kind of inspect them, especially under a bright light like I'm looking at them now, you can see that it's obvious that they're going to play into the solve. However, that is not unusual for a sequential discovery puzzle. You typically can see some of the places where the solve are going to occur. The trick is then finding out how they actually play into the solve. There's, as I mentioned, a lot of heft to the puzzle. You can hear things shaking in there, which means there's bits and bobs that play into the solve and to the fantasy. There are some really cool metal pieces in here that give it that edge when it comes to a 3D printed puzzle. And of course, this little dragon here looks like it's going to be the prize, and of course, who doesn't like a nice prize when finishing a sequential discovery puzzle? All right, so that's my non-spoiler review. So now I'm going to show you the video of me solving it. Let's get into it. Okay, so here's Fafnir's Fortress. And so as I'm looking at it, I can see there's obviously some bolts here. Now, whether or not I'm supposed to take those out, I guess we'll find out. You can see there's a little slot here that when you look down in there, there's a little hole that connects up through there. You can see there's like a little panel that I pushed there, and I just pushed that and it's popped out. So I guess that feeds into the solve. There's a metal door, a little metal dragon peeking through the window there. And then we have a little window in the back here with what looks like a hex bolt in there. And I'm assuming we'll get a hex bolt driver at some point. And then there's a little peg in there that might be a magnet, who knows. Then we have a little tower here that I was fooling around with it, and I already found that you can like remove this out. How that plays into the solve, I don't know. But when you remove that out, this is like a little, I don't know what you would call that, little female part to this little screw here that's embedded in the puzzle. And then there's a little pin there and a beagle hair. Get that out of the way. Okay, so we already found out that if I push on that, it pushes, look at that. So it pushes this brick out, and we already got two tools here. Well, I think they're tools. This is definitely a tool. It's a hex the hex screwdriver, which probably is for that. And then this one's a little round thingy, which that doesn't push in. All right, that doesn't. All right, so I don't know what this is for, so I'm going to set that aside with that, and I'm assuming that's just, oh, there's that little hole that was in there. I'm not sure what this does because there was no tool to get that out, so I don't know why there's this thing here. Anyhow, we have this driver now, so I'll go ahead and put it in there. Okay, so I can't really get any grip. Not that I have the strongest hands, but I'm thinking there's probably another piece that goes to this that hooks onto it. Oh, there you go. So when I put it into there, it becomes more stable. So let me see if I can use that. There we go. So when I'm screwing this, so this gives me a little bit of leverage to unscrew, and I'm betting this has to do with the door. I can feel the door kind of coming loose. All right, so there we go. This little hex bolt comes out, and then I bet the door does too. Yep, and then the door comes out. So we got this little metal door that's, I don't know what it does. It seems to turn into steps here. Not sure why that's like that. But you can see that where these tools came out, the door was in the way, so the tools actually went through the door there. So I'm assuming the door might be able to be a tool at some point. Okay, so what's next? So you can see right here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's like a little line right here, which tells me that probably this bottom comes out somehow. I don't know if you take these bolts out or if you're supposed to at some point, but that's probably how that works. And then also I noticed that there's a little door thingy here. There's a little, I don't know, cassette, and it looks like that dragon, which looks like probably a coin, comes into this, or comes out through this slot here somehow. So we're gonna probably have to find a way, maybe to find a tool that can push that right there. So remember, the objectives are to find the sword, kill or remove the dragon, and then find the treasure. And so that is what we need to look for. Okay, so you can see when I put it back in there, how far it reaches. Oh, look, I actually pushed on that and it was pushing these bricks out. We can use one of these as a tool to help. See, look. There you go. There's a tool. Ah, look, there's a little secret cavern in there. Can you see that, guys? Was that out of focus? All right. All right, so there's a little pin right there, which is where that thing is there. But I can't really grip it to do anything. And there's like a little, see if I'll use this to point. It's like a little, looks like a charm. Oh, that must be the sword. Right there, let's see if you can see that. Can you see that, guys? It's like a little, small little teeny metal sword looking thing. It's like the hilt of a sword. And then here's that bolt that's here. And then there's like a hole right there. Can you see that? Let's see if I can get some more light down. That's better. So can you see the hole right there? Let me see if I can. Can't really put this in there and turn it. Let me see. So I was fooling around with this, screwing this back into the door to see. I didn't know if there's like a secret something in the door, or a reason for this door as a tool. And I noticed that when I try to tighten that back, it starts to turn the other way. And so there's something on the inside here. So this is very reminiscent of like a Will Strebos, or however you pronounce his last name, where there's a part hidden inside a part. I like that. Pretty cool. So the real question though is, what does that do? All right, so I see that I have to get this pin out of the way to get the sword out, and I have to get, and I can't really stick anything down in there. There's nothing small enough to stick down in there to try to push it, and there's no way to pull it. I can't grip it. It's too small with my fingers. There's that hole there that I'm thinking I would stick this into, and when I do, it goes down in there. But if there's a hex at the end of it, I can't turn it because of the ridges on this bolt here. So I'm thinking I have to get that bolt out somehow, but I don't have any tool to get that out. At least I don't think I do. So the only thing I can think of is that somehow, because this came out of this castle-y tower part, that somehow that plays into how I'm going to get this out. So if I just screw this on, you can see it going down onto the bolt there. But if I tighten it, it just tightens down and it's probably pulling that tighter. So I don't want to keep doing that. So I need some way to turn it the other way, I think. So I think this has something to do with that. Oh, maybe it's too long. Maybe this is what this tool is for. So if I put this in here, it makes it to where when I put it on here, it can't screw down all the way. So maybe that, look, then that gives me leverage to unscrew it. Now, but how do I get it out without, if I hold on to it, there we go. That was it. So that's what this was for. I was wondering what that was for. I thought maybe it was just to help get this piece out here, but I think it was for this. All right, so if I get that out of the way, okay, I'm just gonna stick that there because now you can see I can get direct access to that hole. And I think that's, oh, so now I think I need, can that go in there? That can't reach. I wonder if I can make like a tool out of this. Screw that on a little bit, screw that on a little bit. Yeah, look, I can like make a little reachy down tool out of it. Oh, it doesn't really fit. I thought I was being so clever. It doesn't really fit. It's too big, it's too thick. Oh man. So how am I supposed to reach down into there? All right, so this is the only thing I think that can reach down into there. But it's too, I'm not sure I can turn it. Oh, something's happening. Push this little cotter pin thing out. And I know what that's for. Okay. That's to push this down. Yep, and then we can get our sword. Oh, maybe not. All right, so then I can get the sword out there. Look at that, guys. We retrieved the sword. So that is the first goal. So we retrieved the sword, and now I believe we push it down into there to remove and kill the dragon. And there you go. Cool little dragon coin. That's a dragon, and these look like maybe a ship on the water, maybe a house, I don't know. So that's it, I guess. I guess we've removed the dragon, but it says find the treasure. I guess this is the treasure. But I'll tell you, there seems to be there's still something rattling around. I'm not positive that we've solved the whole thing, although I just don't see anything left to solve. Okay, so I did ask and got a little bit of a cheat code. The guy that designed this puzzle said that it was not completely solved yet. No, he didn't say that. He insinuated basically by saying, don't forget that Fafnir has tricks. And so I'm pretty sure that given that sounds like there's something in there, that there's something that we haven't solved yet. And it probably has to do with the prize. Ah, look right there. See that? There's a little slot there. Just big enough for a dragon coin. See if I can get it in there. Ah, there, see, it went right in. And we push it, there we go. Look at that. And there, my friends, there's a dragon right there. That's the real dragon. That's what we heard rattling around. Now, can we get it out though? Oh, look, there's something in there right there too. Ah, look at that, guys. All right, so now we have this little tool. That is for this, I am pretty sure. And it has a little big hex thing there, so I'm assuming yep, this fits in there really nicely to get some leverage. And so let's see what's inside. Let's take off the top here, right? I don't see anything. Does that come off? I don't think so. Okay, so there's the top, and then we have here our dragon. Look how cool that is. This little, maybe pewter. Look at that. That's a pretty cool prize. We got a little sword, little metal dragon coin. There's our little pin that was pushed down, which I was wondering how I was going to get that back up. And then there's this little, this is the mechanism that pushed that cotter pin out. Hex thing that was, oh, look at that. So that's how it pushes it in and out. Okay, so, and then one more layer. Ah, look, another prize. So cool. This is definitely a treasure trove, guys. Look at that. Looks like a Zelda, Legend of Zelda, but it's a Z for something. And then we have a dragon. So cool, guys. So very cool. I enjoyed this so thoroughly. Now we just need to figure out how to put it back together. All right, so that was Fafnir's Fortress. So much fun. And I gotta say, I love it when you have the fake out at the end and there's actually a lot more to go. Well, there wasn't a lot more, but there was a lot more treasure to go, a lot more discovery and taking the whole thing apart. And so I gotta say, if you get a chance, everyone, pick one of these up. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video and solving it through my eyes. And until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye for now.